I dated someone who would pull me down and try and make me feel like I'm not good enough. So at that point, I started feeling a bit less than I should feel.
Greetings, everybody. Welcome to Left Talk. Today, we have a guest who has been making a lot of waves in the lives of many people, especially those of the girl child. I will give you the honors to introducing yourself. Welcome to Left Talk, Karen.
Thank you so much, Anisu. I am so excited to be here. I'm Karen Manzera. I'm a social and economic justice activist. I am 21 years and I'm studying towards a degree in media studies.
That's really great. I've also been observing some of the great works that you've been doing, the campaigns that you've been hosting and spearheading for the girl child. I mean, that's really amazing. Thank you very much for stepping out for that.
Thank you so much.
But he quoted that many people fail to achieve the things that they want to achieve in life, not because they don't have the capacity to achieve those things, but because they lack the great component of self-esteem. In your own understanding and in your own perspective, what do you have to say about self-esteem?
Self-esteem really is important. Because confident and people who have high self-esteem tend to get all the luck in the world, because when opportunities come, they take those opportunities head on, simply because they have confidence in themselves. Because when we're talking about self-esteem, we're talking about someone who have confidence in their own worth and their own abilities. So I'm saying that if you have confidence, if you have that high self-esteem, you tackle life with a certain level of, you really feel that you can do this, and that actually means that you can attack anything head on. Compared to someone who doesn't have, who has low self-esteem, that person would not feel good enough, and let's say an opportunity comes, they don't go for it, they feel like they're not good enough.
Okay, just allow me to get a bit personal into your own life. Is there any point in your life that you can see you're really struggling from lack of self-esteem? And how did that affect you?
Yeah, there was. And I would say that at some point I dated someone who, gave me negative energy. And speaking of having high self-esteem, you really have to be take cognizance of the type of energy that those people who are around you are giving towards your life. So I dated someone who would pull me down and try and make me feel like I'm not good enough. So at that point, I started feeling a bit less than I should feel, and I started having low self-esteem, and I could not go for anything that I wanted to go for, simply because I felt like I was not good enough, simply because someone else was close to me. And maybe, as women, we take regard of what your partner or what those around you think and feel about you. So at that point, I would say that I started having low self-esteem, but upon realization that I was now operating below my capacity, I then got rid of that relationship, because I realized it was toxic. It was bringing negative energy into my life. So I got rid of that, and that is how I came back to the old me, who has high esteem and high confidence.
Man. I mean, so many people, to be very honest, I think they're experiencing the exact same thing, especially when you look at the female side. Many of them, literally, they're being belittled by their spouses, or by their partners, whatever the case may be. And at the end of the day, most of them end up feeling like they're not worth, they're not enough. And they end up living by those standards. Yet I believe that they can actually get to achieve a lot of things. But anyways, I'm happy that you were able to realize that. Because there are a lot of things that contribute to somebody having low self-esteem. Of course, the one I think you've mentioned it, things like reactions of others, social circumstances, life experiences, and thoughts. How would you advise somebody, especially considering the times that we're living in, that even check on social media? I think there are a lot of things that are happening on social media when you post something. I mean, everybody's opinionated. Now everybody has an opinion to anything, and they can comment negatively on you. How would you advise somebody to sustain themselves given the times that we're living in? Let's say somebody approaches them with a negative comment. How can they deal with that?
All right, and speaking to the issue of, our society has set standards for us. I'll give an
Yeah.
example again. As a young woman, I've seen many women and young men succumbing to pressure from social
Yeah.
media because, there's this thing of everyone thinks that because of globalization, you think that having a Kim Kardashian body is the way to go. So if you
Yeah.
don't have that, you start having low self-esteem.
Yeah.
You see 19-year-olds in other parts of the world, they've already made it in life, and you are here, you're in Zimbabwe, you're in Africa, you're struggling, and you start having low regard of yourself. So I would
Yeah.
say that maybe firstly, someone needs to really watch what they think about themselves. That inner voice that is in you. So you need to really eliminate self-criticism and to introduce compassion towards yourself because our thoughts actually create action. Um, and I would say that the thoughts that we have, they, habitually through time, they determine our destiny. So someone really needs to watch what they think about themselves because research actually shows that what you think about yourself it actually leads you to act upon whatever that you think. So definitely it determines our destiny. And I think another thing is you need to really build positive relationships. Well, like I said earlier on, it is really important to have people around you who bring positive vibes and positive energy into your life. So you need to avoid negative ones. And another thing maybe that you need to do is it might sound weird, but someone needs to really take care of themselves.
Yeah.
They need to groom themselves. Research shows that how you look and what you think of your potential has a direct connection. So yes, you really need to groom yourself and to take care of yourself physically, and it will really boost how you feel about yourself. Maybe another thing is someone really needs to find what interests you and work on that, work on improving that. I'll give you an example. I realized that I had a talent in public speaking,
Yeah.
and I had to work on that so that I improve and become much better. And every time an opportunity in that area comes, because I really feel like I can do this and I'm good enough in this, I can tackle it. So whatever it is that someone feels that this is their passion and this is their talent, they really need to work on it and to improve it so that they add to their maximum capacity. That way, if an opportunity comes, you will have high self-esteem and you really feel like, you know what, I can do this, I can
Yeah.
tackle this.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Definitely. Definitely. Oh, I think what you've mentioned is very important. And if only everybody can understand that when you find an area in which you are very good at, and then you start setting targets for yourself, and the more you accomplish those things, the more it builds up on your self-confidence and self-esteem. But like I said before, that this area seems to affect the girl child a lot, especially because of the social pressures and the expectations from other people. But do you think trying to compromise your own self and your own values in order for you to be like somebody else would really boost your self-confidence? Like, for instance, maybe I see how somebody is dressing, maybe my role model, right? Let's for instance, but maybe how they are dressing is not really in sync with how I would like myself to be perceived, and it gives a lot of girls pressure to try to dress like other people, to be like other people, to act like other people, just for the sake of getting accepted. But would you think that contributes in any way to building a self-confidence and self-esteem?
Okay, and so I would say that self-esteem is not, walking into a room thinking that you are like someone who is high self-esteem or
Yeah.
like you're better than anyone. So self-esteem is walking into that room knowing that you don't have to be like someone, you don't have to compare yourself to anyone. So self-esteem is just feeling that you're good enough,
Yeah.
having high self-esteem. So the moment comparison is dead in your life,
Yeah.
I would say that then you have high self-esteem. So you don't have to compare yourself to someone else or to try and be like someone else, because the moment you try to live like someone, the moment you're not your real self, then it
Yeah.
will be really hard for you to live to your maximum capacity. So I would say that it means being assured in your own worth and in your own ability. So don't compare yourself to anyone. Don't try to be like anyone. Just know that you are good enough and just feel that you're good enough.